Hey, happy Saturn in Pisces, all you tap dancers. Put your foot down and let people know that Papa don't take no mess, and Mama don't take no mess. Although truth be told, we can accept a lot of mess, actually, as long as people are compassionate. But we are not suffering any insensitive fools with Saturn in Pisces now. Okay, so I last spoke to you on Valentine's Day, and hopefully you haven't suffered any messy breakups. But if you have, it's important to know that it is the fault of the insensitive fool you are dating. Saturn in Pisces can accept responsibility. And right now, either your ex or your partner that is in your doghouse is going to have to accept responsibility for being insensitive and uncompassionate. And if your relationship is going great, except that most of the world probably hates you. That's the Saturn in Pisces burden that you and happy relationships have to accept. So there is a lot of Pisces energy in the sky right now. Not just Saturn, and it is all being ruled by Jupiter in Aries. So accept the first thing that comes to your brain right now. Like right now, what are you thinking? Come on, the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, I'll help you out. Like you are thinking about your headshot. And did you moisturize enough first? Come on, tell the truth. Jupiter is in Aries, bullying us into telling the truth about our beauty routine with our headshots. And Venus is in Aries too. And sometimes in our haste, we forget to moisturize. Like we want to look so beautiful and make such a great first impression that sometimes we forget to moisturize. So Jupiter in Aries and its eyes is ruling the Pisces sun and its proud toes. And all you proud Mary Pisces sons who have had or will have a birthday, you might be rolling on a river as those tears roll down and moisturize your face. But watch the motion of the ocean and accept the first big wave you see. Your eyes will get real big and you will want to put your foot down on that wave to see if it can absorb your weight and carry your weight as you tap dance on the surfboard. And we also have Mars and Gemini making a 90-degree clashing square aspect to both the Pisces sun and that sun-soaked fantasy Pisces Neptune. So yes, the big wheel keeps on turning and proud Mary keeps on burning. But please keep your hands on the wheel. Don't get distracted. The action and drive of the Mars and Gemini is found in the hands, and the shine of the Pisces sun is highlighted in the feet. And with this, we have to take the time to make sure that competitiveness doesn't clash with ego. So, for example, if either Mars or the sun is transiting your third house, the house of short trips, be careful not to succumb to road rage or get into competitive racing. You don't have to do it. Just giving someone the middle finger will suffice. And then use the Pisces sun now to just accept that some people act like assholes. That's what the Pisces sun is really shining a light on right now. That some people act like assholes. And don't get dragged into that bullshit. Know when to put that Saturn in Pisces foot down on the brake, you know? Accept that you are a winner. That's the thing with Jupiter and Aries. You can accept that you're a winner at the start. Before a race even has a chance to commence, you already know. You already know you're a winner. And then go move forward with the rest of your day. Okay, what else? Seeing food and wanting to eat it right away, before it's ripe. Venus in Aries wants to eat things right away the minute it sees it, even if it hasn't had the time to ripen. It says, hey, it's colorful, let's eat it. And with Venus in Aries ruling Uranus and Taurus right now, we can value eating the same old reliable things that will sustain us and keep us going in life, but maybe with a different and firmer texture than we are used to. Like, see this avocado? I'll crack one open right now. Maybe it's a bit too firm for guacamole, but it is nutritious nonetheless. And if we shockingly find ourselves stuck on an island for a few days, it will help sustain us in true Uranus and Taurus fashion. Oh, and while we are on the subject of avocados, I'll give this astrological advice. So we are on the last stretch of this long-ass Mars and Gemini run, right? And as I have emphasized many times, the sign of Gemini presides over the shoulders, arms, hands, lungs, and rib cage. So Mars in Gemini means being physically active and aggressive with the hands. Like, for example, when you are cutting up jalapeno peppers, onions, cilantro, garlic, lime, and avocados for guacamole. And then going forward with that, Mars itself rules two signs, the sign of Aries, which presides over the eyes, nose, ears, and brain, and the sign of Scorpio, which presides over the genitals. So right now, if you and your hands were just handling jalapeno peppers while making guacamole, Do not touch your eyes immediately afterwards. They will sting. And please do not touch your genitals afterwards either. I learned this the difficult way. I was making guacamole one time and drinking a lot of water while I was making it. So I went off to the restroom, the washroom, the WC, the loo, as one does after drinking a lot of water. I grabbed a hold of my Scorpio genitals, and my natal Mercury in Scorpio became deeply aware of the power of jalapeno peppers. So people with Mars in Gemini in your birth chart, be aware of the power you have with your hands. Like, say you are really on the sexually adventurous side, and you're out tonight, Saturday night, and the moon is in Scorpio now. So you're drinking 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 margaritas, just aggressively counting them out with your Mars and Gemini hands. 1 margarita, 2 margarita, 3 margarita, 4 margaritas. And then the guacamole comes to the table, and you can see there are jalapeno peppers in there. And you are feeling frisky, so you grab a glob of guacamole and decide to give your guy some hand action under the table, using the guacamole as lubricant. Okay, I shouldn't assume in this day and age that your partner identifies as a guy, but you shouldn't assume that guacamole is a good moisturizer in that situation. Those jalapeno peppers are powerful stuff, and it will make your partner cry. But WiseAss, didn't you say at the beginning of the video that if we have been dating an insensitive jerk, that we should use the Saturn in Pisces to make them a more sensitive jerk? Well, yes, but astrologically that would entail something completely different. And I am always all about making sure this information is astrologically accurate. Unlike Mars in Gemini, utilizing avocados with Saturn in Pisces would specifically entail putting guacamole on the soles of your feet and massaging it into your partner. That way they can absorb what life is like at the bottom of the mortar or molcajete bowl, absorbing all the spices of the world being pounded into them by the balls of your feet. The moon is in Scorpio at the moment, and I think we already covered the Scorpio moon being ruled by Mars and Gemini. We covered it in fucking guacamole, yeah? But it's accepting of your kinkiness that the Pisces Sun-Neptune conjunction will be as it trines the Scorpio moon on Sunday. That Sun-Neptune conjunction in Pisces is also making a 90-degree square to Mars in Gemini, as I mentioned earlier. And that Mars in Gemini can assert itself by being a busybody and pointing out trivial things like health code violations. But I think we will escape the wrath of Mars in Gemini on that front, because Mercury is in Pisces right now, not Virgo or Capricorn or Aquarius. The moon goes into Sagittarius at 3:20 a.m. Eastern Time in the US on Monday morning, and it will make a 120-degree trine to its ruler Jupiter in Aries on Tuesday afternoon. So if it looks good, sounds good, and smells good, do it, and have a fucking blast in the process. Oh, what fun. The moon moves into Capricorn at 8:05 a.m. on Wednesday morning, and it will be both ruled by Saturn in Pisces and will also have a 60-degree sextile aspect from Saturn in Pisces. So, like I said earlier, put guacamole on the soles of your feet and massage the guacamole into the tile floors, so your feet are basically having sex with the tile floors via the Capricorn moon sextile Saturn in Pisces aspect. If Venus at the end of Aries now makes your tile floor angry and combative, as Venus in Aries can tend to have that effect when it comes to beauty routines, and your floor gets mad about guacamole not being a good moisturizer for its face, just use those toes now with Saturn in Pisces to draw a guacamole smiley face on your floor. Venus goes into Taurus at 6:34 p.m. Eastern Time Thursday evening, and Venus in Taurus will be ruling Uranus in Taurus. Now, I know you vegans and people on the raw food diet put avocados, dates, pistachios, and coconut on everything you eat. And it tastes good, sure, but be careful not to be a hedonist and get stuck at the same raw food dessert bar. Have some kale every once in a while. The moon goes into Aquarius at 10:24 a.m. Eastern Time Friday morning, so allow some organization into your life. And the moon moves into Pisces at 11:11 a.m. Eastern Time next Sunday. So see what you've been missing. Now, what did the Beatles learn and accept with Jupiter in Aries ruling Saturn in Pisces? Well, Jupiter was in Aries and Saturn was in Pisces in early spring of 1964, at the height of Beatlemania. The Beatles' popularity exploded very quickly, and then they had to accept the weight of it all, and accept the responsibility that came with that. Now, I want to mention that I might be doing some monthly videos for my friend Nadia Shah's channel. I do not have Mars in Gemini in my birth chart. I have Mars in the opposite sign, Sagittarius, and I am bloody awful at multitasking. But anyway, there might be some overlap with the content of the videos. I will talk about the Beatles in all of my videos because it makes no sense to me not to. But I don't think I can talk about guacamole hand jobs on Nadia's channel. So peace, love, stars, and listen to the Beatles. And don't accept guacamole hand jobs from people, unless they're strangers.